around to try to avoid those opening knocks coming out from G2. Looks like as we're looking back over towards this, it's going to be a nice setup coming out with a G2 on defense first. Technical pause coming out, a couple of shots going back and forth, and they weren't kidding. We're getting right into the action on this one. paTiTek does find one off the go, but it's going to be FoDa that finds one as well. Moving this back over into a 4v4 as the push is coming out quite strong back over towards A.
Oh, and actually his shock dart there to try and damage the planter, actually landing on the owl drone. So now going to set up for a retake here, G2. You can see it's already coming through to try and back up. ardiis not really finding too much just yet, but it looks like he's going to send his owl drone into lamps here, and he's going to get a bit of a surprise because there's 3 stacked up in here. And actually, pyth's going to find the open in here. Traded back from Tigene. davidp going to find 2. That's fantastic work from him now, and they're going to push all the way through.
Crazy Deer now coming up back behind this, trying to find the angle to work with, juking back and forth, but the numbers are not in his advantage. First round goes over towards G2 with ardiis picking up the last kill.
Yeah, and actually Crazy Deer going for the incendiary setup, but it not being a factor in the end. Really solid push there. davidp following up the owl drone really, really well, clearing out through lamps. But yeah, Crazy Deer just a bit too far out of that one. It's always a risk when you set up for that incendiary play to deny the defuse, but I mean, that whole time they were just pushing through there. Complete control of short there, and in a 3v1 situation, there's not an awful lot you can do.
Looks like attackers moving back over towards, maybe giving a glance back over towards B right now, seeing how they're going to play that. Gets a little bit complicated whenever you're looking at this map, just based on how you can maneuver around so much. But Crazy Deer coming up and forward. ardiis is going to go ahead and spot him out. Strong defense, just standing out in the open right now, seeing if anybody is going to be brave enough to try to go up against him. Throwing out a little bit more utility, and there you go. FoDa gets picked up again. So now let's see how this is going to play out as pyth's coming around the other side of it. Spike carrier does go down.
And ardiis will find his 3rd here. pyth's going to clean that one up nicely. A fantastic placement on the shock dart there from ardiis. Absolutely destroy. I think it definitely put that Cypher down to about 5 HP. Obviously, Barcode are not able to recover from that. And again, some juicy eco frags, but we're going to get the operator on the board now in the hands of BZT. So this is probably going to be a bit of a slower approach here from the side of Need More DM. But G2 may be trying to capitalize off a couple of bad weapons still on carried from the previous round. But actually, you can see mixwell upgrade as well. So
I like the defensive line that we're seeing set up from G2. They're all about holding different angles of approach. Pretty up close and personal whenever you're looking at their defense over towards B. Keeping a close eye back over towards how the teleporter is going to come through. davidp is still just doing a little bit dance around. Here the footsteps, going to spot out the owl drone. Go ahead and take that one down. Retreat back away as he has been revealed. So with this, you're going to see a little bit of a shift back over towards spawn as reinforcements are going to start pushing back over towards B.
And BZT posted up with the operator on long. Again, like I said, a much slower approach to this one. So they probably want to try and play off a pick here. So it's important G2 don't give too much away. You can see davidp's rotated now. He's actually going to get contact with 2 on long here. He's actually going to swing out wide. Tigene's going to find the entry here, and they're not exploding off it just yet. You can see BZT holding. They're going to pick up the ultimate orb as well. But ardiis forces his way into Hookah. He's going to find FoDa and Crazy Deer, and that might stop this push before it gets started.
ardiis is just such a beast right now. pyth's still holding the angle right on the outside of it. Looks like Tigene does have an idea on what's going on with this one. Doesn't want to be too brave just yet. Trying to see if maybe he can go for a touch of a pick before he steps into it. Depending on how he peeks back around onto this, pyth just has the line on him. Spike carrier does go down. BZT still playing back behind it, trying to step up and forward, but has to be careful. Going after that spike right now is going to be extremely hazardous. BZT seeing if maybe he can connect with some type of shot, get a pick onto this, allow him to step forward, because that spike is in a very vulnerable position right now and doesn't have a lot that he can do. 15 seconds remaining on the clock. Goes over, does get the peek back over towards 1. Looks back around. Next peek's going to be even more dangerous. Looks up the side on, not going to be able to pick it up, and that's going to be pyth taking the round.
Big round from G2 there, and again, a lot on the back of ardiis's, I guess, lack of fear to just get aggressive in certain situations, picking himself up, complete control of Hookah, and getting those 2 kills as well. So good stuff already from G2. Good start to the defensive half. I'm hoping we see a little more aggression coming out from Need More DM. They look, again, you got to assume they're going to approach that round a bit slower, but when they're 2 stacked up on long, they get the entry. I feel like they should have maybe pressured a little bit more.
Spike going down in the entryway, but it's aggression coming out from paTiTek. Does get a quick pick on this one. Gonna retreat back. Feed all the information over that there is a group running. Matt dashing back over towards A. Picks up another one. He is a defensive line right now. He is just holding back the entirety of NMDM all by his lonesome. Finally does go down as BZT finds it. So off the side of this, what can you do from this point? Trying to make a play around the outside. Not going to find much to work for as Lamps is going to be blocked off. He at least has a little bit of defense, but the spy cam comes through. Not going to get the full reveal, but they know that losing it instantly is going to be where he's at. Defenders do manage to pick up the round. Nobody's at least going to step back through with enough time to probably pick up the gun. Let's see. Nope. They're just going to play it a little bit more safe.
Yeah, G2 not wanting to risk losing a weapon themselves, and again this comes down to need more DMs buy around, so not a huge issue that BZT is allowed to keep the Vandal there. But yeah, very solid start here. Again, an eco round, but Pat definitely holding the line there on short outside Lamps. Himself a couple of nice kills.
It's like a little bit of a glance back over towards B. Repositioning back onto that point. Gonna have to play this one a little bit more carefully. There is a lot, I think that was 2 operators I managed to spot out coming out for G2. Long range shots could be big, but BZT does manage to find one. But well as you're gonna see the Hunter's Fury coming through, trying to tap in. ardiis not gonna get too much out of that one, just gonna go ahead and retreat back. But Hookah is now open, and that looks like that might be the approach for NMDM.
You see FoDa now gonna look for something through Hookah. Actually, mixwell's caught wind of this. He's going to find Crazy Deer on top of the box there. FoDa will find ardiis, but David good for the trade. Actually, Showstopper going to get invested here by BZT, and actually mixwell going to shut it down before he can even get it off. That puts us now into a 3v2, and actually need more DM, need to retrieve the spike from Hookah. And mixwell knows exactly where it's planted because he's the one that killed Crazy Deer there. Barrier's going to go up, and actually the revive's going to get invested. He's not going to pop over the top of the wall, so mixwell can't get the refrag on it.
Now, how are they going to reposition back through this one? Creeping back down and out. Looks like they might be eyeing back over towards A. G2 should have an idea that this is going on, moving a little bit more aggressive. Looks like the Omen paTiTek is going to step forward. We've seen him put in a ton of work back over towards NMDM. Doesn't spot anybody just quite yet. Doing a little bit of peek back and forth. Gonna have a quick line. Goes for a spray onto one. Does manage to get exchanged very quickly back over towards this. Looks like we're gonna see a quick push back over, but look at the reposition coming out. mixwell's holding line back behind it. Takes a shot. Gets spotted. That's gonna be Tigene getting another one, and that's gonna be the attackers picking up the round. Switching this over into a 4v1.
Yeah, mixwell just trying to swing around that sky smoke. Unfortunately, not able to land the shot, so comes through, and Tigene's able to clear up that round nicely. So first round on the board for Need More DM. Not going to be a massive issue in terms of economy. G2 can full buy back into this one. I expect the next as well. They're still sitting pretty. But yeah, much better. And again, a heads up rotation there. Pat, unfortunately, the paranoia sent out a little too early maybe. Maybe if he backed all the way up to Lamps or behind the truck, he was able to kind of stop the plant. But nonetheless, a good round from Need More DM.
Oh, walking right by the Owl drone as it comes through. Just retreat back away from that one. Very aware that somebody at least is playing back over towards that angle. You can see that NMDM is glancing back over towards Hookah right now, doing a very split up form of assault. Looks like they're trying to bait out a little bit. The spike is back over next to Hookah, but can rotate quickly back over towards A.
You see now, actually, you see the spike make its way through the cave in the attacker spawn. So looking like they're going to stack up, and they're going to have themselves 2 members of G2 to try and fight their way past. And actually pyth now making the rotation through spawn because mixwell and davidp have actually pushed all the way down B long. So they're going to have the information here. So G2 should be able to set up to hold this. Shock Dart going to go into showers, do a little bit of damage, but not too much. But Orbital Strike gets invested, and now that's going to be the go signal for them.
Steps around paTiTek, managed to pick up one, but it's going to be Crazy Deer quickly returning back over towards the ardiis, tries to step up, gets a little bit, not going to be enough, but still playing back behind this one, and this is quickly turning over into NMDM's favor. Stepping back over, mixwell runs into this one, picks up one, gets some assistance on the other side of it. davidp has the line of sight, steps back around the corner, picks up another one, and that's going to be a quick defuse coming out, pushing us over to 5-1.
Mixwell managing to get ahead of the barrier was placed over showers, land in the first blade storm right click. Very, very nicely done by him. And davidp, again, perfectly timed coming through short as well to get that kill onto site. So impressive retake from G2. And like I said, just that lack of fear to just push down B long there and get the information. davidp and mixwell kind of giving away everything that their teammates needed to know that it was going to be an A push coming.
I mean, you're seeing G2 play this so aggressive. They feel like they're getting into a very dominant position. Those aggressive stretches back out. We've seen them stepping back around, and yet again, it's going to be G2 going for a peek off the side of it. ardiis picks up BZT right off the get-go. That's going to force everybody on NMDM to kind of pump the brakes back over, doing a little bit of peek back over towards Hookah, but it feels like there is no approach that can come through right now. Finally going to be able to spot out, but
no,
maybe FoDa does manage to take down Mixwell.
Yeah, I'm not sure about why he challenged there, but he got tagged up on the first, and then the second was pretty much free at that point. davidp picks up 2. FoDa will finally find ardiis on site, but now in a 1v3 situation, not an awful lot I think he's going to be able to get done from this position.
Gonna have to be very slow with this one. David going for the reposition, does manage to pick that one up. Makes it 6-1 right now, and this is feeling very comfortable for G2 at this point. And MDM haven't been able to find a lot of comfortable approaches. Right as soon as they manage to make the play, G2 always seems to have the information, even whenever they go for a reposition, and it just feels like it's starting to be a little bit of a chokehold with G2 up on top.
Yeah, I mean, davidp already looking much, much better, and not to call him out again, I know I've mentioned it earlier, but davidp had a really, really rough series the other day, and it was actually really surprising to see. But see now, landing his shots, he's got that confidence level is up. He's not afraid to peak. Again, even there, taking that 1v1 with FoDa effectively after the recon bolt comes out. But mixwell boosted up now on short. He's going to get himself a couple of kills here. Actually, he misses the first one. Has to use the tailwind to get out of dodge. Now the push down short going to come in. Actually, let's see some sky smokes. But here you go, davidp. This is what I'm talking about right now. We saw him do this time and time again, just pushing through all of the information and relayed to his team, and they know exactly where everyone's positioned.
Picks up 1, picks up 2, looking back around. It is just a quick pickup as everybody goes down for need more DMs. Right now, they need more players as it's just flank upon flank, play upon play, and G2 just seems to have their number.
And again, just the timing on that. As soon as mixwell takes the shot, down to FoDa on short, as he's kind of throwing a shoulder, already davidp is pushing. Already he's halfway down short on B. He's making his way into market, and at that point, they just collapse. They just need to take a default hold, and it's actually 3 people from backside that are able to pressure through the sky smokes. Just, again, just such a clean hold on A side.
And look at the lineup already prepping for another aggressive push out back down towards B long. Feels like NMDM are already starting to modify their plans based off of this, not stepping out too far into this. Kind of playing back over towards mid, using that for a reposition, because every single time they peek back down long, it does not go in their favor. Gonna go ahead and get tagged up as well. Mixwell's playing this aggressive, going all the way back down long, seeing if maybe he can spot out the Sage. Not going to quite be able to connect with it just yet. Reinforcements now making their way back over towards B. This is going to open up a little bit of hookah, so repositions could come through. Mixwell does manage to get the tap back onto that one. Gets himself back up to full life, but it's going to be ardiis. Looks like he does hear what's going on. Stepping over to the side of this, trying to get into a nice trap position as hookah's starting to get advanced upon.
Yeah, that's it again. Just showing they're not afraid to push as 3 down B long to get that information, or even no information, but the early pick itself. And looks like a dirty little angle there, but unfortunately misses it. Has the tailwind out of there. Recon bolt comes through hookah. That's actually going to reveal mixwell and ardiis. So I don't know where both players are on site here, and davidp coming through elbow now to try and back up. His heals back up in 7 seconds, but maybe actually going to... Oh, neural theft gets popped, so I don't think he's going to initially pop the res. He's actually going to use the wall to try and get an angle above this cyber cage.
With this G2's reinforcements are coming in back on the other side of this. davidp does spot a little bit of a shoulder, but does get popped. BZT finds an opening to work with. pyth gets a beautiful spray, connects right through the wall to take one down. That's beautiful information being fed back over. paTiTek playing back over closer towards spawn. You can see pyth trying to do a little bit of a reposition around. You can find an angle on it, like a little bit of a bait as they take down the wall, steps back away from it. Well, let's see how we can see the fence come up. paTiTek does manage to make the advance back over towards site. Looks back over to one side, but that's going to be the attackers picking up the round. NMDM picking up their second round. Might this be the start of trying to string a few together?
Again, and they need, I think, another 2 rounds to break the economy of G2. They're just going to be able to buy out for the rest of this here, but pyth again with just textbook. Oh, Pat. Okay. We didn't catch that one, did we? I definitely didn't see that one go down 2 in the round.
Oh man, paTiTek, he is being on fire right now inside of this game. Him and davidp are making so many like sneaky little plays. Look at davidp all the way up, and Hookah looks like he's going to step out. Going to go ahead and throw down the slow orb by a little bit more time. Aldron's going to come out, try to get a little bit more information. Does connect with the recon bolts. So going to have to retreat away. But at this point, davidp is playing this so solidly. Look at how he kind of jukes back, tries to use any piece of cover, steps back away from it. And now how are we going to see NMDM respond?
And actually, Barcode might pick himself up, kill onto mixwell if he's not careful. Actually, Pat's tucked himself into cubby. That's it. They're going to pop the revive here. Pat's going to swing on it. He's going to find Tigene and VZT.
Get out of my way.
Should know that there's a third player here. Actually, Baitol gets popped, but Crazy Deer shutting that one down immediately. Pat's still there to hold the line on shore. He's going to find his fourth on the round now. Pat just landing shots left, right, and center. Now it all comes down to FoDa, but davidp creeping through spawn. And there you go. Pat will find the ace here in round 10. Fantastic performance from him individually so far.
Oh my God, paTiTek, how many kills is he at? It feels like every single time we check back in. I think that we saw him at 9 like 2 rounds ago before picking up all of those kills inside the last round. Just spray upon spray. He is putting on an absolute showcase right now.
Really, really good stuff in there. But again, mixwell finding that pick on short. I mean, within the first 5 seconds, BZT gets picked off going for an aggro peak, and I just don't think they can play that game with G2.
Trying to find some type of approach right now. davidp speaks out, gets a little bit of information onto this one. Not going to have the Aldrone to really harass him this time. Looks like he might opt into throwing up the wall as well, but finally the Aldrone comes out. Gonna spot that one out. No recon bolt gonna connect, so allow him to hold a little bit closer back over towards Hookah. Steps around, does manage to pick up one, but it is exchanged as Barcode does find the return shots onto it. Hookah starts to be a little bit of an aggressive point. pyth playing back behind this as well as ardiis. Looks like the repositions already come in back over from the other side of A. All members of G2 make the force back over towards this. You can see it's going to be an order bombardment coming out from one side of it. mixwell trying to get a little bit more control off to the side of it. Does get tagged down. We're starting to see NMDM get a little bit of control back over towards Hookah, but has to be careful. ardiis still playing on the back side of site, trying to see if he can spot somebody out. Does get the information with 2. Picks up 1 near on instantly with this one, but paTiTek on the approach.
Yeah, there you go. Pat already made his way through market all the way into Hookah. Picks up a freebie in the back of the head of Tigene. Really, really good stuff. Again, G2 just showing how they can come out on top of these team fights time and time again. They just trade favorably. Much better crossfire setup from them, and I just don't think Need More DM need to be playing this game against a team like G2. When they're hitting shots, it's so hard to break this hold.
So at this point, what do you think they need to do? Maybe try to go for a little bit of bait and switch, maybe sacrifice a player off to one side to draw the attention, because we're starting to see G2 rotate very quickly anytime the early aggression comes through. See, we see davidp still playing back over towards Hookah. It feels like a lot of the pivotal point coming through off of this. Shot's going to be coming out. Hunter's Fury is trying to connect. Not going to get a lot out of it, but davidp is going to go ahead and throw up the barrier to buy even more space to work with and get the heal back off. So not a lot lost off of G2 at this point. Just a little bit of health on davidp.
Yeah, still got Barcode on this Showers lurk for what feels like the 11th time already. He's always been in there, and now you're going to see the rotation come back over to A, but G2 already sending 3 players towards B. Again, it's going to come down to mixwell and Pat to hold down the fort here on A site. You see smokes are going to come out, and actually Pat going to find the wallbang onto Barcode, falling back into Showers. Crazy Deer will find mixwell with a Spectre, so they're going to get themselves site control initially. Pat probably just going to play for the retake here, wait for a teammate or 2 to come and back up, and this is going to be interesting now. G2 in a 4v4 retake situation.
See how they make the play around over there. Looks like they're giving Lamps a little bit of a wide berth. BZT playing right around the angle on this one, trying to get a little bit of damage back off approach on it. Got to be careful off the peaks. You can see the approach from G2 coming right over the side of it. ardiis is just going to quickly tap this one off. And back over towards Lamp. A little bit of aggression does come through. Looks like Crazy Deer was playing the backside of it. Does get spotted out by pyth. Whereas looks like it does come back over, and it's going to be paTiTek popping back up. Should have time to get himself some weapons to work with. And there we go. That's going to push this one back over. And it's starting to look a very G2 side as we move over into a 10-2 scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fairly dominant, and that's the understatement of the entire evening, but very, very impressive performance from G2 on the defensive half there. And again, just the setup there, and Pat, as soon as he gets the information that BZT playing on bench, he hears the blast pack. He knows exactly where it's come from. Pat doesn't force the issue, knowing that BZT is probably going to have an operator. If he holds that angle, he runs the risk, but throws the paranoia through, and then ardiis just swings out through default. Again, little things like that just make it so easy. They don't even risk going for a 2-for-1 trade. It's, you know, that we're going to use utility and we're going to pick up that kill for free and maintain the man advantage. Really, really excellent stuff to see G2 play like this.
Let's see how we see this one play out. Pistols coming forward. Slow creep out to the side of it. Crazy Deer playing it back. Aggressive, quick exchange as you're going to see pyth and Crazy Deer each find one respectively. But it's going to be a continued push back down from NMDM. Getting a little bit of vengeance back on the other side of it. But paTiTek already back around towards point. Has to play this one pretty closely. Going back over towards defender's spawn. Slowly creeping back away from this one. Looks like they might kind of reposition. Use this opportunity to go back over towards A. Might see Sage with a little bit of opportunity. ardiis, meanwhile, playing back over towards Hookah, seeing if maybe he can spot out, slow down the approach.
The timing.
Coming out, and oh, get spotted out. paTiTek managed to take down one of them, but this looks like it might be going in NMDM's favor.
Well, actually, I'd say the complete opposite. Pat,
well,
he's going to get himself over towards A site now. Get it down. He's in a 1v1 situation. Crazy Deer just going to stomp all the way through. But yeah, as expected, Pat going to use the shrouded step, get himself up towards heaven. And actually, it looks like Crazy Deer's read this perfectly. 2 HP, but Pat's going to land the headshot. 4 on the round for him. A fantastic clutch. And that's going to put G2 on 11 rounds here.
All right. Well, I was trying to give NMDM a little bit of favorability inside of that one, hoping they can make the approach onto it. But 11-2 right now, this is looking pretty rough for NMDM. See if maybe they can find some way to make the hold on to it. It looks like most of the aggression coming up from G2 is going to be going back over towards B short. A little bit of a glance back over there. Maybe making the reposition back over towards A. I like this one. Kind of scoping out everything that they can do. Looks like G2 is going to favor that approach. So A looks to be their target.
And actually, they know that it's going to be a force as well, so probably going to take a bit of a slower approach here instead of deciding to burst out. Cybercage gets popped. Pat will find the entry into BZT and actually find a second as well. He is playing absolutely insane so far on this map alone. mixwell going to get himself to the top truck, and actually the Marshall will not going to land from Tigene. mixwell will find that one and clean it up. Crazy Deer now got himself into a flank. Needs to pick up a couple of kills here if they want to go for the defuse, but davidp going to find it with a Phantom and Barcode, only with a Bucky in hand. Pat's going to find another easy kill, and that's 3 on the round in round 2 of the second half. We've got 4 in the first, 3 in the second. Pat is playing absolutely phenomenal right now.
Yeah, and here we sit at match point already. So, NMDM...
I was going to say, this is going to be a quicker match than the downtime in between the previous series and this one. This is actually insane right now, Matt.
It feels like this match is going to be shorter than the overtime from the last series that we just saw. All right, so let's see. It looks like a G2 making the eye back over towards mid. 3 members showing up for the defense on it. You can see the slow orb is going to come out, slow him down just a touch. Also a little bit of damage, but very quick reaction coming out from mixwell. paTiTek looks like he's going to take over, leading the charge for G2. Approach coming up. You can see Aldrin up above him, trying to get a little bit more information, but a very far back defense is going to be coming out from NMDM. Want to give themselves a little bit of space to work with, as FoDa does manage to spot out paTiTek. We've been talking about he is such an engine coming out for G2, but mixwell manages to step it up as well as ardiis. Quick exchange back and forth as it looks like we are sitting on 2 right now for G2, trying to find their way, see if they can maybe turn this one around, and yep, now down to a 2v2 position as it is a bloodbath in that hallway.
I was going to say, Crazy Deer nearly on time with that flank again. mixwell actually crossing through the cloud bursts with Barcode, and he's going to land the headshot with the Bucky, but davidp in the meantime has made it all the way over to B site, down to 32 HP. He's got to kill 27 seconds if he wants to heal here. Spycam going to give the information away, and actually Crazy Deer and Barcode are going to make their way through the teleporter into Hookah, so davidp just trying to run the clock down to get the heal back available. Here comes this retake from Nemo DM. There you go. He's going to land it immediately. davidp swings out. They will get the defuse.
All right, so picking up the defuse on this is going to make it match point still 12-3, but signs of life coming out for NMDM. Now, what can they do? Picking up the round, give them a little bit more of a morale boost to work with, and that's going to be kind of the question that I have right now. How do you feel that NMDM's morale is sitting right now? Feels like every single time they try to find an opening, G2 has the counter for it.
And actually, again, things just going favorably for G2 over in terms of trades, but davidp pulling the spike out all the way to B site. I'll shut that down. And again, it puts them in a really, really awkward position. davidp, unfortunately, has to run the time down, but a well-timed peek over towards the defensive spawn shut that one apart. But going to see a hookah push coming through here. Actually, a full-on B commit, it looks like.
Got 2 down long, 3 back over towards hookah. Quick reposition coming out from the Omen. Barcode does manage to pick up mixwell on the approach. Let's see what we can get out of this. Barcode's trying to step this one forward. Does get spotted out by davidp. Gonna have Tigene back behind it. Picks up 1, but quickly returned on the other side of it. It's gonna be paTiTek coming up. FoDa making the approach back over towards B, trying to see if he can spot out anybody. Going for the wall bang. Connects back over towards the Sage. Picks off davidp. Playing back around the Shroud, thinking maybe he can find something off of it. Crazy Deer still on the outside. Trying to get a little bit more out of it, but gonna go down as well. BZT, now the last one up on match point. Gets taken down, and G2 makes it look easy.
I mean, that was absolutely